Every year, an important part of the new car market is made up of customers who decide to pay a little more and move up out of the lowest price field. The Fire Sweep series gives Desoto a strong entry for this part of the market. But Oldsmobile also has a strong entry with its 88 series. Either Desoto or Olds gives him the prestige that goes with owning a car out of the lowest price field. But besides this prestige, he expects to get big car quality, the kind of quality that the lowest priced cars cannot afford to give him. Now, our purpose here is to see which car, the Desoto Fire Sweep or the Oldsmobile 88, gives him more of this big car quality he's looking for. Let's see, first of all, which style offers more in the way of quality. Now, of course, in comparing styles, the answer is mainly a matter of opinion. But it can be opinion based on fact. For instance, you can tell quality in a suit by its cut, as well as by the material used, or in other words, by its style. Now, applying the same yardstick, let's compare Desoto's front end with its slim, graceful lines and Oldsmobile's very flashy and also very bulky front end. Is there any question which front end is related to which suit? And it's the same story from the side. There's Desoto's tastefully clean chrome sweep from front to rear. And then there's Oldsmobile's chrome. Lots of it, but showing very little integration between front and rear. As a matter of fact, it almost conveys the idea that Oldsmobile's front and rear quarters were conceived by two different designers who were not on speaking terms with each other. From the rear, again, it's Desoto's clean, slim lines set off by the dramatic fender fins, and Oldsmobile's heavy chrome treatment that has more flash than quality. And now let's talk about extra vision as further proof of Desoto's quality advantage. First, there's Desoto's new bubble canopy windshield, standard on sportsman and convertible models. Oldsmobile doesn't have such a windshield on any model at any price. Furthermore, big car quality shows up in the size of Desoto's windshield and rear window. And there's no opinion involved here, only fact. It's a fact that the Desoto windshield has 28% more glass area than Oldsmobile's, and the rear window has 17% more glass area. The cardboard represents the exact amount of additional glass area in Desoto's windshield when compared with Oldsmobile's. It's a similar story in the rear, with the cardboard representing the additional rear window visibility that the Desoto owner gets. Now, what about engines? To the stepped-up buyer, a bigger engine than those in the lowest price field is another measure of big car quality. Desoto and Oldsmobile both give him this quality. But of course, no two competitive engines are alike, and this is especially true in the case of Desoto's new turbo flash engine and Oldsmobile's rocket engine. For one thing, the Desoto turbo flash engine is completely new this year, the latest in engine design. The rocket engine has been around for quite a while, although it was considered pretty hot 7 or 8 years ago. Now, we won't go into which engine is hotter, especially since the answer is pretty much a foregone conclusion. After all, the rocket didn't do too well against last year's Desoto engine, although it had a higher horsepower rating. And this year, the situation is reversed, with Desoto having the higher horsepower, while Oldsmobile's horsepower has actually been reduced in an effort to get more fuel economy. So it's obvious how any performance tests would come out. The stepped-up buyer expects a bigger engine, sure. But he's also very conscious of fuel economy, much more so than the man who habitually drives a bigger car. There's a good indication of the quality one may expect to find in each car if we compare the methods used by Desoto and Olds to provide economy of operation. Desoto designed an entirely new, more efficient engine, and so it increased both its power and its economy over last year. Olds took the easy way out by going from a 4-barrel carburetor back to the 2-barrel used in previous years. This cuts down the power, but it does let them claim more economy. Now, we could have had an actual fuel economy run between the Fire Sweep and the Olds 88 to see which one gives more miles per gallon. But with all due respect to economy runs, the result often depends on skilled professional drivers operating their cars as no ordinary driver would in everyday traffic situations. So let's consider fuel economy in terms of the ordinary drivers and the common everyday use to which they put their cars. Now, an engine consumes more fuel during the warm-up period in cold weather than during any other normal driving situation. And here's how that works with the ordinary driver. Most of his everyday trips are short ones, to the store, to work, to church, all just a matter of a few miles. In many cases, his trip is over before the engine has fully warmed up. Obviously, then, reducing the warm-up time is one way to provide greater fuel economy without cutting down on other desirable features such as power. Desoto's new turboflash engine reduces engine warm-up time 25% with its new series flow cooling system, which uses only 17 quarts of coolant. By using less coolant, the engine warms up faster. Furthermore, the new turboflash engine has a faster-acting automatic choke located at the manifold, cutting down the time that the engine runs at full choke. As a result of these Desoto engine features, tests show a whopping 42% increase in fuel economy on a 2-mile run and a 23% increase on a 5-mile run. And remember, most everyday driving consists of just such short trips. Oldsmobile claims a fuel economy gain of up to 20% for their rocket engine with the reduced power. In connection with Desoto's faster engine warm-up, a heater output test was made. It furnishes further proof that Desoto offers the buyer more of the quality he's looking for. Speed of both engines was regulated so that they would idle at 1,000 revolutions per minute. Both cars were started with the temperature inside each car at 44 degrees. Time and temperature were recorded at 2-minute intervals. Here's the test at the end of 2 minutes, at the end of 4 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. At the end of 10 minutes, the temperature inside the Desoto was 72 degrees, while inside the Oldsmobile it was only 66 degrees. And it took Desoto only 1 more minute to reach 82 degrees, but it took Oldsmobile 3.5 more minutes to reach the same temperature. This is another benefit of Desoto's faster warm-up. Another test of big car quality concerns the brakes of each car. First of all, Desoto has a total brake lining area of 230 square inches, while Oldsmobile's is only 192 square inches. Furthermore, Desoto's brake lining is bonded to the brake shoe, while Oldsmobile's is riveted, which means that Desoto's brake lining will last much longer. Now, here's a brake fade test. Each car has already had 5 consecutive quick stops from 60 miles an hour. Now, they approach the flagman for the 6th time, and at his signal, both drivers will apply the brakes. While it took Desoto only slightly more than 100 feet to stop, Oldsmobile's brakes had faded so badly that the car did not come to a stop until it was past the 250-foot marker. Both cars were also tested for power brake pedal effort. A decelerometer was used so that each car could be accurately held to a deceleration rate of 10 feet per second, considered the normal stop at city traffic speeds. A pedal effort gauge was used to measure the amount of effort required. Taking an average of 4 stops, we see Desoto required only 30 foot-pounds of effort, while Olds needed 51 foot-pounds, or about 70% more effort. Now, even the batteries of each car were tested for big car quality, and the results of the test were especially revealing since Desoto rates its battery capacity at 60 amp hours, while Oldsmobile's battery capacity is rated at 70 amp hours. The coil of each car was disconnected so that each battery would keep the engine turning without starting it. Then, with both batteries fully charged and both engines fully warmed up, each battery turned the engine until the batteries ran down. It took 6 3/4 minutes of steady turning before Desoto's battery ran down. But Oldsmobile's battery lasted only 4 minutes. Now, here's another revealing test, comparing Desoto's and Oldsmobile's big car riding qualities. For this test, each car was taken across the same railroad tracks at the same speed, 30 miles per hour. As Desoto crosses the tracks, its wheels are still on the ground, but Oldsmobile's front wheels are well up in the air. The cars leave the tracks, Desoto's wheels still firmly on the ground, but not Oldsmobile's. Now it's the rear wheels' turn to leave the ground. While Desoto is fully recovered, Oldsmobile's rear end squats down once more. And as Desoto proceeds on an even keel, Oldsmobile's rear wheels leave the ground a second time. So it's obviously Desoto that provides the big car riding qualities. Now, what about Oldsmobile's pneumatic ride, consisting of an air suspension system and costing over $200 extra? Perhaps that would give Oldsmobile more big car riding qualities. Let's see. By comparing this year's Oldsmobile 98 equipped with pneumatic ride with last year's 98 equipped with the standard suspension system, which is still being used by Olds. Both cars go over the same tracks at the same speed. Here we go. Rear wheels off the ground without pneumatic, and rear wheels also off the ground with pneumatic. And down go the rear ends. It's anybody's guess which car has the pneumatic ride if only the action of the cars is considered. Now the rear wheels of the car without pneumatic ride are off the ground again. And look whose rear wheels are also off the ground. In other words, it's no use spending over $200 extra trying to get big car riding qualities like Desoto's from Oldsmobile. Now, besides offering more big car quality, the Desoto Fire Sweep is also a bigger car physically than the Oldsmobile 88. It is over 8 inches longer in overall length. And with the Fire Sweep's long look goes the low look. The two-door Sportsman is more than 2 inches lower than the 88 two-door hardtop. Inside, the Fire Sweep has an advantage in all dimensions but one, that being headroom in front, which is only 2/10 of an inch less than the 88's. But the Fire Sweep is better on headroom in the rear compartment, better on legroom in both front and rear, better on hip room and shoulder room in both front and rear. The Fire Sweep advantage in dimensions even carries to the luggage compartment, which has considerably more width and a floor depth advantage of more than 18 inches. So, for the man who wants to choose the bigger car with the quality features of a bigger car, Desoto offers quality styling, a big bonus in visibility, a more modern and more powerful engine with built-in fuel economy, faster warm-up in cold weather, bigger and better brakes requiring less effort, considerably better riding and handling qualities, and a bigger car physically both inside and out. For the man who wants all these things, there's no doubt about it. The Desoto Fire Sweep is the better choice by far.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more films and classic car info.